Some stories never die, some stay with you, and some are still watching. This is one of those stories. When I was around 2 years old, my parents started noticing something strange. Every so often, while playing in the living room, I would suddenly freeze, my tiny hands hovering over my toys, and in a soft, eerie voice, I would whisper, "She's watching from the window again." At first, they thought nothing of it, just a child's imagination. But I kept saying it. Random days, random times, always the same words. "She's watching from the window again." One evening, my mother, already unsettled by my eerie comments, finally asked, "Who's watching, sweetheart?" I turned my head slowly toward her, my face blank, my voice flat, and I whispered, "The neighbor's mother." My father, who had been listening nearby, stiffened. He exchanged a glance with my mother, because what I didn't know, what I couldn't have known, was that our neighbor's mother had died months before. She had lived alone in that house, and from what my parents heard, she spent her last days sitting by the front window, just staring out onto the street, watching. Still, my parents tried to shake it off. They convinced themselves that maybe, just maybe, I had overheard something, until one night, a cold, rainy night. I woke up screaming, not crying, not calling for my parents, screaming. They ran into my room, my mother gasping, my father's heart hammering, only to find me standing in my crib, my tiny hands clenched onto the wooden railing, my whole body shaking. Tears ran down my face as I pointed, terrified, toward the dark window. "She's inside now!" I shrieked. "She's inside! She's inside!" My father spun toward the window, expecting to see something, someone standing there, but there was nothing, just darkness, just the cold rain streaking down the glass. They finally calmed me down, telling me it was just a bad dream. But later, my mother, pale and shaken, admitted something. She had felt it, a presence, something lingering in the room. After that night, I never mentioned the neighbor's mother again. I never spoke about her, but my parents, they never forgot. Years later, when they finally told me the story, I laughed, a nervous, shaky laugh. "I don't remember any of it," I told them, and then my mother hesitated. She looked at me, her face troubled, before whispering one last chilling detail. "The night I woke up screaming, that same night, the house next door burned to the ground. The neighbor, who had moved in after the old woman's passing, barely escaped with his life. But before the fire, before the flames erupted, he swore he had seen something. A flicker of movement in the front window, a shadow, a figure. Someone was watching. Even now, when I walk past that empty lot where the house once stood, I feel it, a pair of eyes, watching. Some stories never end. Some stories stay with you forever. If you love chilling true stories that send shivers down your spine, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications only on Chilling Chatter. Sleep tight if you can.